When I was 3 years old, I started with football at the club, and then when I was 5, professional football club Fortuna, they asked me if I want to join them. But for me, it was, I'm too young and I know I want to play only with my friends, so I decided to stay at my small club. I was always like, I want to go on the street. From day one, I know I want to play only with the ball. For me, football means life. The most important dream who came true. When I was a young boy, I always wanted to become like a professional football player. And I know this I want to do my whole life, and I know it was difficult. Torino, the football club, they are like not a normal club. I think they have really special people, like fans. People, they work hard and then they enjoy to watch Torino. Everybody know the players and everybody know against who we play, when we play, so they're really close with the team. And for me, this is one of the most important things to have and to know this feeling. To wearing this shirt, especially this color, like they call the Granata. Since day one, I wear this shirt when I sign. It's really special for me, and I know what it means, the colors for the club and for the fans, and it's really special to be part of this club. The first day for me in Torino, I remember it was difficult to speak. You know, everybody in Italy speak Italian, and for us in Holland it's really difficult to speak this language. But I remember that, like, this is the city where I'm gonna live, and I had so good feeling from the first day, and I wanted to start directly, and I'm still really happy.
Turin, a city of charm and mystery, where legends and magical events blend with the present to create a truly evocative atmosphere. With its modest stance yet luxurious surroundings, the splendor of its squares and monuments are the external elements of this unique, intriguing destination.
The big difference now between Torino and where I lived before in Holland is, of course, the weather. But I think also the people here in Torino, for me, they are really warm. They give me a good feeling since day one, open to speak with you, and they all have respect for who I am. For sempre forza Toro. Before I came to Torino, I know a lot about the club. One of the history is how they get the name of the bull, like the toro. He fight to a dragon, and he won this fight. So I think it's easy to know why they make the name like this, and they call it like toro, or in English like the bull, because he was strong. For me to live in the center, it's a little bit busier than outside the city, but most of the players live here, so it's always nice to go with some player to do coffee or to drink or to eat something, because everybody lives close to each other, and you see always somebody if you go outside. I have also friends, of course, in Torino who I met when I came. Of course, some guys in the team, they are my friends, but also where we go now, Piazza San Carlo, and then especially to Café Torino. There is one guy working, he is like a friend of me. When I came here, it's difficult to speak the language. He helps me a lot. And now it's just 1 year, but he is really important for us, and I think one of the most important guys in Torino for me. This is a place when I want coffee or like juice, or when I have day off and I need to eat, ching ching, huh? Here you see again the bull, the toro. I think also if you see the place with this gap, people they will turn like this. So if people come, they will do always this, and I think it's one of the most famous things you can do in Torino. Here we have a Tourette. If you see also, this is like special, and I think you see many of them in Torino, and many people drink from this. They are special, like for the name, like they call it Tourette. And that's good, yeah. For me, this is really nice walk. If I need some free time, I think it's the best place to go because it's really quiet, it's nice, relax a bit in the mind. If you see this, I think it's really beautiful to see how they built this, and I think it's the same style like Piazza San Carlo, but also Piazza Castello. When I came to Torino, the first meeting I had with the director, they told me about the Grande Torino. From the first day, I know already how important this is for the club. So when I visit the first day the stadium and also training ground, you see all the names from people who died that time with the airplane into the mountain. I think where now is they call it the Superga. For me, the most beautiful and impressive thing I have ever been in football was in May when we visited the Superga with all the fans, and it's the most special thing in the club what we have. People in Torino, I think, like they work always really hard, but I also think they really enjoy how nice the city is. If you see now this guy here in front, he's like making music, he's enjoying and relaxing time. For me, the Italian people, especially in Torino, have respect for you. They always want to help and they always want to be the best for the other one. Because I have been in Italy many times, also other places, but for me the feeling Torino I have is they really want to help and to feel you like home. For me, made in Turin is respect. Of course, in football you always have good times and bad times. For me, last year we had really good season, we finished high and fans are really happy. I still feel the supporting from the fans, you know, they're always close with us and they're always supporting us also. Yeah, when we play maybe not so good one game or we didn't win and we had to win, and I feel always the fans behind us and always send message to wish us luck for the game, and yeah, they're always positive. So I think that's really important for us also in the team, and we feel this, and yeah, we always want to give them the best back, but yeah, you cannot always win or always play good, and yeah, that's really important that we always together like one family with the fans together.
Among its many achievements, Turin is the reference point for national and international publishing. Designated World Book Capital, it is, in fact, home to the largest publishing book fair in Italy and among the most important in Europe. More than 800 publishers display their works every year during the fair, with over 1,500 events for professionals and book lovers alike.
Unfortunately, I couldn't go to visit it before, but I hope when we have time like the next edition to go in May 24th, I think it's really important to know and to get the feeling what it means for the city like Torino. Of course, Turin was new for me, so I like to read some things about it to know more about where I am. How old is this one?
This is the ancient form of the city.
Special, huh, this one? One of the most special places for Torino. For me, this is the first time I see this in my life, and it's really special. I want to see the Netherlands a long time ago.
A city whose cover design displays all the pomp and luxury of its noble lineage, and whose history is written in thousands of chapters. Turin is in fact an open book, influenced by cultures and peoples from all over the world, as it continues to write new and important pages of history.
After like 1 year now playing for this beautiful club, I think I really feel like I'm part of the family. How close the fans are together with the players and the club, I feel part of it. And I feel the people, they appreciate me, and I will be here many times also after my career because I think this is a beautiful place and I feel like home.